Hey everybody! So I'm really excited to be here tonight. This wasn't planned. I wasn't planning on doing a live stream tonight, but my dad set up my new office, and so I thought I'd try it out. I have two monitors now, which is very exciting, and I think everything's working great. It looks good. It really captures my lighting well, and I just have a lot more space to have my notes and other things like that with the two monitors. So I'm really excited about that. And I kind of just wanted to test it out. And so if anybody, I don't think anybody will log on, but if you do, if you have questions, I would love that. And the super chat is open. If you are so inclined, you could do that. The chat room's open. But I thought it would be fun to, wish you all a very happy Easter. I hope you all have had fun. Mine was very simple. My dad did come down and help me set up my new office, which I'm very excited about. But other than that, I've just been working on stuff. I went to church. I'm wearing this dress that I love. I think it's a really pretty dress, and so that was fun. And I had gotten a ham meal yesterday so that I could have some kind of Easter meal today. So that was nice. And I thought that it would be fun for me to answer some questions about Broadway and my love of Broadway and theater, because I've just been doing so much of that lately. I've been writing for Utah Theater Bloggers, and I became a theater critic for the American Association of Theater Critics. So I'm really, really proud of that and really excited about that. And last week I saw 4 shows. The week before I saw, I think, 3 or 4. This week I only have 2, but it's still a lot. And I'm reviewing both of them for Utah Theater Bloggers Association. So I have 2 reviews. I'm going to be seeing Hairspray, and I'm going to be seeing the Fun Home. I'm going to see Fun Home. So that's, talk about contrast. But I'm really looking forward to it. And then I'm also seeing, as far as movies this week, I'm seeing Chevalier, which I've been looking forward to for a long time. I've been seeing the posters. Seems like for forever. I love costume dramas, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then also I am seeing Suzume, which I am so excited for. You all know how excited I am for. I love Makoto Shinkai. I've heard nothing but great things from the people who have gotten to see it. And so I'm seeing that on Thursday. And then I'm seeing The Covenant, which is Guy Ritchie film, and it looks really different than anything else he's ever done. Like, the promo almost made it look like faith-based film. I don't really know a whole lot about the plot, but Jake Gyllenhaal's in it. So it's definitely going to be at least intriguing. So I'm going to see that on Thursday. And then I feel like there's something else. Hairspray on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, Chevalier. Thursday, Suzume. And then The Covenant. And then Friday, I'm seeing Fun Home, which I've seen one time before, and it's brutal. It's a gut punch, but very well done. So I'm looking forward to seeing it and supporting Wasatch Theater Company, which is a smaller theater. So that should be really good. And then actually, I'm excited on Sunday. I don't normally go to shows on Sunday, but it was the only day I could do it. I'm going to see Cabaret at the University of Utah, which is like perfect timing because we're talking about it a lot on Schmigadoon season 2. So it's so cool because I will just seen Godspell, which is part of Schmigadoon season 2. I saw Chicago last fall. I just saw Company last week. And so I'm starting to, I've seen a lot. I just watched the movie of Cabaret yesterday. So I'm starting to catch up on some of these shows that are referenced a lot in Schmigadoon season 2. And we just actually recorded our recap of episodes 1 and 2. So that will be on Wednesday. And I really thought it was a good discussion. So I think you all are going to really enjoy it. And what else do we have going on? But that's quite a bit. I'm excited about all of that. On Saturday is our next patron watch along. And it's going to be really fun. We have Rhiannon Fish, who's like a pretty big name actress in the world of Hallmark. She's definitely a new favorite. She's been in, she was in like 4 movies last year, something like that. And she's very sweet, very kind, and she kindly agreed to be our watch along guest for the patrons on Saturday, this upcoming Saturday. So, I mean, I just think it's like such a great deal to if you like people are paying like $100 for cameos and stuff like that, and here you can spend 2 hours with an actress in a leading role, hearing all the behind the scenes of what goes on to make these movies, and watch the movie with her and get asked her questions. And we've had, it's not just actors, we've had writers, we've had directors on for the watch alongs, and yeah, they are in the more in the Hallmark kind of rom com world because that's just where I have the most connections. But if you want to learn about how things are made, I think it's a great opportunity. No matter your like maybe your love of Hallmark movies, I think this is, and for like $5 a month, it's just nothing. Plus, every week you get a review from me, an exclusive review as a patron. And this week is the movie Picnic. I'm doing the AFI Passions list. Next week it'll be Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. So I think it's really worth you get a big bang for your buck in our Patreon. So yeah, you should all check it out. But okay, so I thought I would go through these get to know you Broadway questions, my favorites. So all right, y'all ready? Number one, what was the first musical you ever saw? I remember going to see West Side Story pretty early. I was taking a dance class, I think in 4th grade, and my teacher was I forget her name. Anybody's? Anyway, it was the tomboy character. I could forget her name. But anyway, it was that character, and I went to see her, so I remember that. I also remember going to the Shakespeare Festival pretty early, but the first real Broadway musical that I remember seeing was the Phantom of the Opera in San Francisco. My grandma had given me, probably this was probably 4th grade. My grandma gave me a cassette tape of the greatest hits of Andrew Lloyd Webber, and I listened to it nonstop. Loved it so much. And then she took me to see Phantom, and it was such an amazing experience. Just such a spectacle. And I went and saw it last March, and it was really fun. I still had a great time with it. And just the spectacle of it, even if you don't love the music, it's a really fun show to see. It's very big, and big theatrical songs and opera, at times. And so that was a great introduction to into Broadway musicals. Hi, Gemma. And then number two is the question is, what was your favorite musical growing up? Well, my favorite musical growing up was definitely Les Mis. If you were going, the first music I ever really loved was The Little Mermaid. Of course, that was a musical movie, not a show until much later. And so I loved The Little Mermaid. And then, Les Mis was the first musical that I ever really loved. And I'm not kidding. I knew every single line to every single song. I could have been a swing for any part at any time. I really miss. And I rarely do things that you're so hyped for kind of live up to that kind of anticipation, but it was one that did. I just absolutely loved that show. I saw it in 9th grade. We got the option of either seeing Cats or Les Mis, and I picked Les Mis. So, yeah, I just absolutely love that show. It's so moving to me. The dynamic between Javert and Jean Valjean, Mercy versus Justice. I just think it's beautiful, and the songs are so great. So that was the first musical I ever really loved. Third one, were you ever in a musical? I have been in, I guess, 2.5 musicals. What I mean by that is I was in I was in The Wiz when I was in high school. They would never do it now because it was like a completely white cast, and that show is kind of that show's a a black show, and so they would never do that now. But it was fun. We had a good time, and then Bye Bye Birdie was the other show that I did, and then I got cast in Little Abner, but then I got sick, and so I wasn't able to finish that role. But that was the extent of my performing. Although I would love to do it again, but it's hard here in Utah. Everything's so competitive, so it's tough. But I did really enjoy doing those 2.5 musicals. So, and then this next question, what was the first musical you saw on Broadway? So that would be Les Mis. If you could be any female character in any musical, who would you be and why? I think assuming that you're kind of assuming that I have the talent for the role, then I would be Eponine in Les Mis. I love On My Own. I love her song. I love her character. Little Fall of Rain, I think, is kind of underrated. I don't have that kind of belt sound. Like I don't think I could do it. If I'm thinking of one that actually might kind of fit my voice a little bit better, then I might say maybe Annie from Annie Get Your Gun. I think I would have fun with that. Or Tracy Turnblatt from Hairspray. That's probably who I'd pick. Which male character would you be? Maybe if I had the talent, which I don't have the talent to, excuse me, I would be, I guess, maybe Alexander Hamilton. That would be an amazing role in Hamilton. Who else would I want to be? I think Archibald in Secret Garden. I think that's a beautiful, beautiful role, moving. Maybe that one. What's the favorite musical song to sing in the shower? I mean, On My Own is a pretty good one, I think, to sing in the shower. I love Bright Star. I could play any of the roles in Bright Star. I love all of the songs. The lead song Bright Star is beautiful. I really love this little show called Daddy Long Legs. I think it's so great. So some of those songs. Anything from Hamilton is fun. Okay, who is your favorite theater actress? I think I'd have to say Idina Menzel is my favorite. I love Linda Eder. I love Kristen Chenoweth. So many, are great, incredible performers. Who's my favorite actor? I think I have to go with Aaron Tveit. I've never gotten to see him perform live, but he's so freaking charming, and he was in a Hallmark movie. So what is your favorite film adaptation of a musical? That's a hard question. Probably Fiddler on the Roof, and you're going to get to see my review tomorrow. So, little teaser, but it's really good. I mean, it is extremely faithful to the original show, and I love the message of it. I love the story. I mean, the performances are all great. I mean, it's a great show. I also, I think the adaptation of Music Man is really good with Robert Preston and Shirley Jones. That one's really good. Trying to think what else. Yeah, those are probably two of my favorites. What do you think is most underrated musical? I already said Daddy Long Legs is very underrated. It has such good songs. There's only 2 people in the cast and writing letters to each other, and yet it managed to be super charming, very compelling. I also loved the Spitfire Grill, which is a film adaptation, but I just thought the songs were really great, and it was a great story. That one I think is underrated. I think Bright Star is very underrated. I love that show so much. It's right up there with Les Mis is my favorite show. So yeah, that I would say. I think Shrek the Musical is underrated. It's so funny, and I think it's the gold standard for that kind of adaptation. Yeah, that would be another really great one. Next question is, what do I think is an overrated musical? I think 6 is overrated. I know, shocking. I mean, it was like a fun concert. It was fine, but I felt like I was watching a early workshop of a musical, not the actual musical. Like there's no sets, there's no. It's just like a teeny bopper concert. That's how I felt. I don't know. It just didn't do much for me for 6. But what else? Overrated musical. Mm, that one's a big one. 6 for me. Um, Evita, I didn't love it. I didn't love it. Most of the Disney musicals I don't love. Mary Poppins, definitely overrated. I do not like what they did with the characters, the story. I guess it's more based on the books. Uh, SpongeBob musical is underrated. Mr. Flickster. Yeah, it wasn't quite as funny as I was expecting, though, I have to say, about the SpongeBob musical. Like, I enjoyed it very, very visually, like the sets and everything in the production I saw was very impressive. But I was just expecting it to be funny, like Shrek the Musical, and it's actually really wasn't that funny. That was my only disappointment with SpongeBob, but I can see how you'd say that. I maybe say, even though I love the movie, I think Sound of Music is maybe a little overrated. It's the stage musical is not nearly as good as the movie. They were very smart. The songs they took out, the things they kept in. I think the way they moved things around, it just works so much better. The movie's just better. So okay, what musical made you cry? I am an easy cry. You all know that. So it's pretty easy to get me going. I mean, Bright Star makes me cry when she gets a baby taken from her, and very emotional. So that one's up there. Les Mis makes me cry. I mean, so many parts of Les Mis makes me cry. I'm even crying like something like Annie. I think it's so sweet and sad, and feel bad for her. Uh, um, oh, so Mr. Weeks says If Then is underrated. I don't know that show at all. So sounds like it is underrated. Okay. I would say overrated. I also think Into the Woods is overrated. I just don't love the change up in the second act. I know a lot of people love that. I don't love it. And I don't know, I don't love that many of the songs. I don't think it has that many bangers. I don't know, it's just not my favorite. It's okay. I'm actually going to see it next week, but it's not my favorite. Okay, so then what musical made you laugh? So the funniest musical, I mean, absolutely Shrek the Musical is the funniest musical I've ever seen. It is so funny. Lord Farquaad is absolutely hilarious. And I think it's such a great show. And I'm not that big of a Shrek person, but I love that show. Let's see. She says, Mr. Flickster says, SpongeBob is so colorful and were creative. I thought it was hilarious. The actors nailed the voices too. I agree, very colorful set designs, creative. I don't know, just because it was about the end of the world and just kind of, it just wasn't as funny as I expected it to be. So maybe my expectations were wrong. If Then has Idina Menzel. And I feel like I remember that now. Okay. Anything Goes is funny. Yes, Anything Goes is funny, and it's so amazing. If you get to watch that pro shot they did with Sutton Foster, it is absolutely amazing. The dance numbers, unbelievable. I highly recommend it if you get a chance to watch it. Okay, so are there any musicals you saw and hated? Musicals. Ooh. I've seen some plays that I hated. I recently went and saw Robin Hood the musical, and it just was not for me. I actually left before the intermission. It was I was not feeling it. I didn't like this really electronic track they had, and I could barely see the way they had the chair set up, and I just didn't think any of the songs were that memorable, and I just wasn't feeling good, and I left, and it was a good thing I did because they ended up the highway was like black ice all over everything. So if I had waited until the end, it would have been even worse. So that was an interesting experience, but I didn't enjoy that musical. I wasn't that big a fan of the band's visit. It's not awful. I didn't hate it by any means, but it was just more kind of bland, I thought. Like nothing really stood out that much. And there's been some other ones, but it's pretty hard to make a musical that I hate. So let's see here. Sutton Foster is amazing, unbelievable, especially in dancing. She's incredible. Mr. Flickster says I hated Barnum. Okay, I haven't seen that, so it's good to know. Good to know. I am super easy to please when it comes to musicals, but I definitely have seen some plays that I hated. And particularly, it was actually the first review I did for Utah Theater Bloggers Association was this play about it was supposed to be, I can't even remember what it was called, self-awareness or self something like that. And I just thought the portrayal of the autistic character was very, very insulting. And they portrayed him as like this dangerous person that he was like, you had to be wary of. And I just, it kept saying the R word over and over again. And that was very offensive to me. And so that play, I think it was self-awareness, I think is what it was called. It was not for me. And it's just so ironic because I'm like super forgiving, and the fact that like a play that I hated was my first review for Utah Theater Bloggers is like super rare because I just like most things that I see. So okay, so then we have, what musical do you want to see as a film? Um I think what would I like to see? Bright Star. I think I would love to see Bright Star. I think you could do it very easily. Or Daddy Long Legs. I think both of those would make great musicals. Um, yeah. Which musicals are you dying to see? I would love to see Parade, that's out on Broadway right now. I would love to see the New York, New York, with songs by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Um, and Mr. Flick says that Wicked should be a film. Well, it's happening, two-parter. They're making it into two parts, which seems kind of crazy to me. And Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande as our leads. I mean, they can definitely sing. They both seem too old for those parts. Is my only concern. I mean, Cynthia Erivo, I think, is 36, and she's supposed to be just in college, Alphaba. So that seems like a strange casting, but whatever. So yeah. See, which musicals are you dying to see? Oh, I already answered that. Okay. Any movie or book you think should be turned into a musical? There's this book called The True Confessions of Charlotte Doyle. It's about this girl who ends up on this pirate ship through various in the like 1800s, and she ends up through the course of the book being like turned into a pirate basically by the end. I think that would make such a fun musical. I think that it has all of sort of the beats, and it's got kind of girl power, and I think it would be, you could have a real fun spectacle with it. So True Confessions of Charlotte Doyle, I think would be a really good one. As far as movies, I've said for a long time I thought A Princess Bride would make a great musical. I feel like there's like so many fun characters and so many spots where you could have a song. Like each one of the bandits could have their own song. Obviously, Wesley and Buttercup could have their own songs. You could definitely have a good villain song. Prince Humperdinck, the Six Finger Man, and so all of that could be really fun. I feel like it's just perfect for a musical. So that's the first thing I think of. So, what is your all-time favorite musical? As I've said, I really love Bright Star. I just absolutely love the songs. I love the story. And I love the fact that it's funny and tender and tragic, and you get all those emotions. I mean, Les Mis will never really be topped. I just love it so, so much. I love the story. I love the characters. I love the songs. It's another one that kind of has it all. It's funny. It's tender. It's emotional. It's heroic, I guess. And so I love Les Mis. I think that's always going to be my favorite, partly just because of nostalgia. But I love Beauty and the Beast. I have a lot of nostalgia for that. I'm very mixed on the Disney live action. I'm not live action. The Disney Broadway films. I can't talk. The Disney Broadway shows. I'm very mixed on them. Like I said, I don't like the Mary Poppins at all. I very much. I don't like. Trying to think else, and my mind's gone blank. I mean, I like Lion King. I like Beauty and the Beast. I do not like The Little Mermaid. I don't like that they made Triton and Ursula's siblings. I think that was so stupid. And what other ones? I do actually really love The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I think that they got rid of all the problems of the movie and made it even better, and it made more sense. I like the fact they made um, Quasi's father and Frollo brothers. So there was like a reason for Quasi for Frollo to be invested in Quasi. I think that was a lot better, and I don't know. I just think it's way better, and so I enjoy that. Um, see, The King and I and The Lion King are favorites. I have seen The King and I actually on Broadway. I mean, it has some cringy stuff for modern audiences, but it has some really good songs and catchy songs, and you say my favorite is Finding Neverland. Yeah, that's a good movie. I haven't seen the show. Let's see. Do you think the Vanderpump Rules scandal should be made into a Broadway musical? I am not up on the Vanderpump Rules scandals. I don't really know anything about that at all. I know it's a popular show. But if they have good songs and good writing, anything can be musical. That's my belief. Did you like Aladdin? Yeah, I did like Aladdin. And I think Aladdin benefited from the fact that it had some leftover, or at least one leftover Howard Ashman song in Proud of Your Boy. That elevated it a lot. And so, yeah, I think Aladdin was fun. I enjoyed that. Uh, I think Tarzan is okay. Um, it's interesting because you have the characters actually singing the songs as opposed to voiceover songs, like in the movie. So that's a good thing, but it's also I don't know, it's just different. So I'm trying to think what other ones I've seen that were Disney. Um, Yeah. Oh, Frozen. I love the Frozen musical. I thought it was great. I saw it in its Denver tryout, and I just love all the new songs. I think they fleshed out Elsa's character in a new way, and so I thought that Frozen was one of the better ones, in my opinion. Um, and obviously, Book of Mormon should be a film too. That would be interesting because I am. If you didn't know, I am Mormon, so that would be interesting for me at least. I've never seen the show, but yeah. um, yeah, so that's the last question. Do you think Emma Stone should have to give back her Oscar since Isabelle Huppert was outrageously robbed? No, I don't think she should have to give back her Oscar. But if you like Isabelle Huppert, this week on the Criterion Project, this is a little podcast I do a couple times a month. We are having an Isabelle Huppert episode on Things to Come, her movie, Mia Love Hansen's movie, and we actually not only do we talk a lot about Isabelle Huppert in the movie, but we also got a chance to have two, I think they're both professors who are writing a book on Isabelle Huppert. So if you are a fan of Isabelle Huppert, definitely check out the Criterion Project this week because I think you'll really enjoy it. That'll post tomorrow, so keep an eye out for it. So I think that's everything with these Broadway questions. So I hope you enjoyed these questions, and I think I will call it a night. It was really fun just to do a little live stream. Let me know if you'd like me to do more of these, and thanks for the good questions. Let's see, what Disney movie should be a Broadway musical that isn't yet? Because they're doing Hercules, which I've heard very mixed reviews on. So, I mean, I have to say, I think I would enjoy an Encanto musical. Feels a little early, a little soon for that, but I would enjoy hearing all those songs and seeing dancing and everything. So that's one that comes to mind. Man, I feel like they've done almost all the other like big ones, you know. Peter Pan, the Disney Peter Pan, maybe that might be fun. Oh, thanks. Mr. Flixer says, more Broadway talk. Yes, please. Oh, good. Well, you'll really enjoy, like I said, we have the Schmigadoon recaps on Wednesday, and we talk a lot of Broadway on there. And yeah, I will definitely. I love talking musicals and Broadway. And as a theater critic, like it's good for me to talk about it and to keep thinking about these kind of questions. So yeah, I would love to do more. So thank you for that encouragement. Well, thank you so much for the questions. And yeah, that's what makes me feel good that people are interested. So thanks again. And I hope you all had a happy Easter. And we'll talk to you all later. Bye.